Today, NATO's annual budget is $1.6 trillion. Taking into account the gradual increase to 5% of national GDPs, NATO's budget will grow by more than 1.5 times, to $2.7 trillion. All of this indicates NATO's preparation for military confrontation with Russia. The alliance's plans envision readiness for such actions by the 2030s. This has been repeatedly and openly stated by NATO officials. We are not threatening, we are being threatened.
Russia has finally disclosed its direct war spending figures for the very first time in a major revelation, estimating a staggering total of over $137 billion allocated specifically for military operations in 2025 amid the grinding conflict. Russia's direct budget spending dedicated to the Ukraine war is now projected to reach a substantial 5.1% of the country's overall GDP in 2025, reflecting the immense economic strain of sustaining prolonged combat efforts.
Hindustan Times cannot independently verify the Russian Defense Ministry's bold claims, which have often been disputed and questioned by international observers and independent analysts tracking the conflict's true costs.
By stark comparison, the United States is planning to allocate about 3.4% of its much larger GDP toward overall defense spending in 2025, highlighting a notable difference in proportional military commitments. Andrei Belousov, the Russian defense minister, presented these eye-opening statistics during a high-level board meeting held in Moscow, laying bare the financial realities of the ongoing war for the first time publicly. The data is precisely based on the Economic Ministry's official forecast of 217.3 trillion rubles, equivalent to roughly $2.7 trillion, in total GDP for 2025, providing the economic backdrop for these massive expenditures. Belousov also revealed that about 410,000 people have already enlisted for contract military service throughout 2025 alone, bolstering Russia's forces amid heavy battlefield losses and recruitment drives. Previously, Moscow had only publicized vague figures under the broader and less transparent national defense line item in its budgets, obscuring the true scale of direct war-related outlays from public scrutiny. The overall defense budget also encompasses critical investments, the accelerated development of new advanced weapon systems, and a wide array of other associated costs that sustain Russia's military machine. These unprecedented disclosures come at a pivotal moment as Russia is actively negotiating potential peace terms with the incoming Trump administration, possibly signaling a shift toward transparency to bolster diplomatic leverage. Troops received 38,000 motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles in 2025. Hired 409,611 new contract soldiers in 2025, down from 449,243 in 2024. 50% of Ukrainian casualties come from first-person view drones, or FPV drones. Around 27,400 Ukraine drones were intercepted this year over Russia. Russia is exploring FPV drones that can serve as high-speed interceptors.
Received 2 Tu-160MS, supersonic bombers that can deploy N weapons.
Amplified precision strikes against Ukraine's power facility. Russia has boldly claimed that at least 70% of Ukraine's vital thermal power plants and a significant 37% of its hydroelectric plants are now completely disabled due to relentless military strikes, crippling the nation's energy backbone. Ukraine has been forced to endure frequent and debilitating power disruptions throughout the harsh winter months after repeated Russian attacks systematically targeted and ravaged its fragile energy grid infrastructure. This stark statement comes right as Russia unleashed a massive drone and missile blitz that plunged large parts of Ukraine into pitch-black darkness, leaving millions struggling in the cold without basic electricity. Deadly Shard drones, precision-guided missiles, and devastating guided bombs have hammered energy facilities and essential civilian infrastructure across wide swaths of Ukraine, amplifying the humanitarian crisis. The port city of Odessa has now suffered through 5 consecutive days of total darkness following a massive Russian missile and drone attack that knocked out power for entire neighborhoods. Russia's brutal attack on December 13 specifically targeted critical energy facilities, leaving thousands of civilians shivering without any electricity or heat during the freezing night. Then on December 16, Ukraine's emergency services reported that a fresh Russian strike ignited a massive and uncontrollable fire at Odessa warehouses, compounding the chaos and destruction. The United Nations has grimly confirmed that Russian attacks on Ukraine's power grid were found to be severely affecting innocent civilians, disrupting daily life on a massive scale. Kiev and its Western allies have repeatedly accused Russia of deliberately trying to deny civilians access to essential heat, light, and power as a cruel tactic of war to break their will.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.